speak is Kristy from Battleborn Ammunitions and Firearms, who donated that lovely pistol.
Oh Lord, my husband knows how graceful I am. Thank you for that step, and thank you, Father, for not making me trip over that step. I would like to, because anybody that knows me well knows that, hi Diane and Clay, they know I'll trip over the first thing I see. So I wanted to give you a couple of my favorite quotes about the Second Amendment first. But before I go there, I just want to tell you that when a lady accessorizes here in Nevada, she's selecting caliber, not color. Right? Okay, so here's one of my favorites. It says, guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect everyone that approaches that jewel. Unfortunately, nothing will preserve it but downright force. Whenever you give up that force, you are ruined. The great object is that every man be armed, everyone who is able might have a gun. And that was from Patrick Henry. And yeah, I know he's a little controversial, but he's said some great stuff about guns and liberty. We have there's another one that I absolutely love. I don't want to get too deep into these, but there's two more. The laws that forbid the carrying of arms are laws of such a nature. They disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes. Is that not true? This is 300 years old, okay? Such laws make things worse for the assaulted and better for the assailants. They serve rather to encourage than to prevent homicides, for an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an unarmed man. 300 years ago. We're still doing that today.
Common sense.
Here's another one, and this is from Jeff Cooper. I don't know if this is a book that he wrote, but it's From the Art of the Rifle.
Yes.
The rifle itself has no moral stature, since it has no will of its own. Naturally, it may be used by evil men for evil purposes. But there are more good men than evil, and while the latter cannot be persuaded to the path of righteousness by propaganda, they can certainly be corrected by good men or women with rifles. These are all common sense to those of us that carry firearms, but unfortunately we've got a lot of people that don't get that common sense. The reason I'm here to speak today is because I have a little bit of an interesting story. It's boring to me because I've been hearing it in my head for 400-something years. So, 1976, there was a young woman that was really, really excited about her life and ready to just get moving and conquer the world. She was strong, she was bright, she was happy, and she was ready to strike out on her own after helping to raise her siblings for many, many years. This young woman would walk down the streets in the San Fernando Valley. Yes, I was originally Ohio. I'm one of the good Californians that came. Oops, sorry, I was talking about her. Let's talk about her. Just walking around enjoying life as we did in the 70s, those of you that remember our few sober moments. But it was a time of just being free, of girls being able to do whatever they wanted to do. And it was a really cool time in her life. And at the age of 18, a man that had stalked her for many, many months, that had broken into her home and sat in her bedroom and watched her sleep numerous occasions, broke into her home, held her at gunpoint, and raped her in front of her family. This man was identified by this young woman in the courts. This young woman testified at 18 years old, scared to death. Testified well. This man received 5 years for burglary. This man had 29 counts against him when he went to prison. In 1985, this young woman had the youngest of her 3 children cooking in her little belly. Nice big round baby, healthy woman. She's finally starting to come around and opens the paper one day. And there he is on the front of the paper. He had been caught blocks from her home. He had found out where she lived again. And again, she felt she had to run in fear. I'm that woman, And this man terrorized me for most of my life. As I moved to Nevada from California, it was the first time in my life I felt safe. I lived in Dayton. I had my own home. I slept with the windows open for the first time in 20 years. You see, the other side grabs these stories like the October 1st incident and thinks that that's the only thing that brings people to tears. I'm sorry, but this could have been your mother, your daughter, your sister. This man has been in and out of jail for 61 years. He went to jail the first time 6 months before I was born. I'm 61, just gave away my age, whatever. About a month ago, my brother called me and he said, oh, by the way, do you know that Terrence Lee Liddell, that's his name, you can look him up, he's on Facebook? I went back again. What do you mean he's on Facebook? Yeah, he was on Facebook as Terrence Lee in a group that I have been in for a year. So first, after giving my brother a good tongue lashing, because I'm the second oldest and I still am the big sister, I talked to my brother and I said, why didn't you tell me? He goes, hey, you own a gun store. I said, I forgave him a long time ago. I refuse to give him any more power over me. Right? But still, Steve Sisolak wants to take that right away from me and thousands of women like me that have been through this. When we had this home invasion here in the beginning of the year, I went back to my scared place. I thank God every day for my husband Jim over there, who has always made me feel safe. But I got nervous and I got scared, and instead of getting scared and freaking out, I said, heck with that. I am a strong woman. I'm armed always. I have my right to protect myself. And no one on God's green earth is going to take that away from me. That's why I'm here. It's not because of my business. It's not because of anything. It's not because I want to, all these people are going to come in the store now. If you come in the store, that's great. I'm making ribs and biscuits and gravy for the Father's Day class. Back to my quick little story. This man has been in and out of jail for over 61 years. He was a sexually violent predator in California. When he left California and went to Oregon, they never put him on a sex offender tier. He is 75 years old now, has another charge of stalking someone else against him, and he went to jail for, of all things, shoplifting Abreva cold sore medicine and making up receipts to get the money back. But this is somebody that's 75 years old that is not going to stop till he's in the grave. So I got him out of the Facebook group. I'm working with some people in Oregon, but this is 2019. He was released in 2016, and he was sent to Oregon, where all those little girls that live there in that little town have no clue what an evil monster this man is, because they don't have time to tear him in 3 years. A sexually violent predator. This is where we go wrong in this country. It's not the damn guns. It is not the guns. We don't enforce our laws. We hand slap our criminals. When's the last time you heard somebody actually serving the sentence that they were charged with for their crime? When's the last time you heard it? We plea bargain. We slap hands. Another example of someone that was in our life that is a gang member. Well, he's no longer in our life because he was killed by gang violence. This person had 6 incidences, 6, of being a felon gang member in possession of a firearm. What do you think they did to him? We dismissed that in furtherance of justice. That's exactly what it says in the court records. So when they ask me, what is my answer to the issues that we have with people being violent? It's not the guns. Let's start with not allowing plea bargains for violent criminals. That should be an immediate no way. Okay? Do you know that rape is not classified as a crime that results in, I forget what it is, it's in my notes, but I didn't want to go with my notes. They don't consider it great bodily injury? That a rape is not considered great bodily injury? That's not right. Okay? They talk about women's rights. Okay, where's my right to having a normal life and not thinking about this whenever it wants to pop into my head? And with these red flag laws, oh, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. I have a sister that should never, ever, ever be near any guns. And I will tell you what, she's a major con man. This is what's going to happen. One of the guys that she dated that she got a little bit irritated with broke into his house and filled his nice leather shoes with mayonnaise. Ooh. So that's when guys ask me, do you have a sister? I'm like, no, not if I like you anyway. She's an addict, and I'm sure at least everybody here has had one in their life or been exposed to one, and she's not going to change her ways until she gets her way. And I would not ever put it past her to say, my sister has PTSD. She's a nutbag and she's got a gun. So they'll come and take my guns on my little sister's word. This is what we're talking about. Jilted ex-lovers, jilted everything. We have to fight for this, everybody. We've got to really step up. I'm so excited to see the number of people that are here today because this is the first time I've ever attended a rally. And the reason is because I believe in this. I believe in this group of people behind me that have been working their butts off and doing stuff other than complaining on Facebook. They are building a following, and we are going to make a difference. So with that, I thank you. I think that's enough out of me right now, and just God bless you all, and thank you for coming out. We know our time is limited, but let's fight the good fight and keep our guns.